Although speaking to Scar before the meeting, he was saying that he's had one or two 5,000 metres, then 12.5 laps of the track. And there's Gebre Selassie, 172, the newly crowned world record holder. Scar alongside him is Sanga there, another Moroccan, very, very strong Moroccan squad here, including Hissou, Choumasi and Jabour. Jabour, an athlete who really streaked into the world's elite last year with 13.08, virtually unheard of before 1993. Scar, as I was saying earlier, has had a glandular problem for a couple of weeks, but has shifted that now, and that was confirmed with a respectable 3,000 metres run last week in Jena, Germany, where he ran 7:45. Won here last year, Scar. Paul Donovan of Ireland, right on the inside in the pink shorts and white vest, will be the pacemaker through the early stages. Donovan going straight to the front, running up the back straight now. They're running into quite a strong wind. Going down the home straight at this moment in time. There's Gebre Selassie, 172. 239 is Lalafi, a 13:15 man. Seems like the whole Moroccan squad is here. Could be the Moroccan Championships. Also up there at the moment is Josephat Machuca. There's a lot of his training up in the northwest of England. But Donovan running out a good pace at the moment. They'll be wanting to lap in around 62, 63 seconds. There was talk earlier in the week of an attempt at the world record with Scar against Gebre Selassie, but I'm not sure that'll happen now. It's pretty cold out there, and as I've said, a wind up the back straight will certainly not assist them in any attempt at a very fast time. So Donovan leads then from Lalafi. Scar in third place at the moment. You can see Gebre Selassie there, top left-hand corner of your screen, talking about his personal life. Of course, a great deal of media attention centering around the young man over the last couple of weeks after that world record. Says he likes to watch MTV on his television back in Holland and Eurosport. Plays a lot of computer games. Donovan, world-class 3,000 metres man in his own right. Pretty useful miler as well. But choosing certainly at this stage of the season, perhaps in preparation for the more important races that'll lead him into the European Championships, to do some pacemaking. Going through 800 metres there in around 2.6, and Scar and Gebre Selassie, the two men keenest to go with this pace at this stage. 2.98 there, Salah Hissou back in fourth place, 0.95. So they're moving along at a very respectable pace. Donovan doing a good job there in front. Had a best last year of 88.90, and that looks very, very close.
Et qui va prendre la tête du concours. Environ 3 minutes 7 secondes aux 1200 mètres, ça va vite.
So Donovan still driving along at around 63 per lap pace. Scar, with that choppy little style of his, very, very compact. Remember, he's the man with such a vicious kick. Again and again we've seen Scar sprint away to victory. Very strong mentally too, the Moroccan. Says his favourite session is 10 by 1,000. How anybody can regard that as a favourite session is beyond me.
Bien sûr, les spécialistes apprécient ce 5000 emmené par
Gebre Selassie, well, no doubt the young man's had a lot of attention on him in the last 10 or 12 days, and that's might have drained him a bit. It's one thing setting a world record, it's another thing coming off the back of it and continuing to run well and handling all the media attention and other requirements made upon you, or requests, and at the same time trying to fit in some training. Has said that he's going for the World 10,000 record in Lausanne later in the month, Gebre Selassie, and no doubt he's putting in some hard training for that. So very difficult for the men like him who are in high demand, being offered a lot of money to compete in races like this, to decide when to train and when to stop and race, and inevitably they go into some races pretty tired. But at the moment he's tucked in third place behind Donovan, the pacemaker, and Khalid Skar. Two more Moroccans behind him, Lalafi and Jabeur, and gaps beginning to develop now as this 62, 63 second per lap pace takes its toll. Running very, very fast here, well outside world record schedule. I don't think there's any chances of records being broken tonight, perhaps a stadium record. But Donovan there checked it over his shoulder just to see what's going on behind him now, as he approaches the 2,000 metre point and steps off the track after 5 laps. His job done, and he's done a good job too. So Skar finds himself in the lead. Gebre Selassie happy to sit in second place at the moment. .307, that's Mohamed Choumassi of Morocco, only a 13:22 man. Did that back in 1991. Choumassi decided he hasn't had enough of time at the front of this field, and allows Salah Hissou now to take over at the front. Hissou, only 21 years old, pushing it along at a good pace. Virtually unknown though, Hissou. Isanga there, struggling, couldn't go with this pace. Next time they come round to the finish line, it'll be 3,000 metres. Gebre Selassie not travelling a great deal slower here than in his world record at Hengelo last week. Remember his final kilometre at Hengelo, very, very special indeed, 2:20. And Jabeur there, very similar in build, Hissou and Jabeur. Lalafi as well. Well, Hissou checking his watch there, 7:55.71 at 3 kilometres. There's an enormous great clock just down to his left if he'd bothered to look at it. Wouldn't have been any need for him to do that. 2:38, that is Jabeur in 4th place behind Skar. Hissou not moving at a particularly fast pace here. He's running around 64 seconds per lap, and I think Skar will be pleased with that. He won't want a lightning fast time tonight. He'll just want a victory and something to bolster his confidence. Gebre Selassie looking across at a big screen at that end of the stadium, so they can see what's going on behind him without the inconvenience of stretching round and looking. But his pace has slowed significantly now, and Skar responds by putting in a fast burst, and Gebre Selassie goes with him. That's a very, very impressive change of pace from Skar, still with some 4 laps to go. Who's gone with him? None other than Gebre Selassie, and the others struggling to respond to that. Hissou and Jabeur back in 3rd and 4th, but with 4 laps to go, Gebre Selassie doesn't seem to have been troubled by that at all. The crowd really enjoying this 5,000 metres as things close up again. Skar easing right off there. Just put in a burst of 300 metres in around 44-45 seconds to see what the rest of the field would do, and he got his answer. Some of them were still quite fresh enough to go with it, especially Gebre Selassie. I could have told him that without asking. So 2:98 then, back in the lead is Hissou. He's doing a lot of the front running here, Hissou. Whether or not that's pre-arranged, I don't know. Isanga there goes through, 2:38, he's beginning to struggle. Still moving at around 13:15 pace though at the front in the overall time. Now Gebre Selassie, with just over a couple of laps to run, really needs to think about making a move now. He's got 1 kilometre to go, and he must know about Skar's kick. He's a vicious finisher, Skar. You can see him there in the purple and yellow, trying to make a bit of room, trying to move out. He wants to cover any break that Gebre Selassie might make at this stage. And I really do feel that Gebre Selassie, if he's done a good bit of homework, will know that Skar is fast, will know he needs to clear out and drag that sprint finish out of Skar's legs. And if he doesn't go soon, he's going to leave it too late. 2 laps to go now as they approach that finish. There it is, around 11:11 with 2 laps to go, and that group has moved right away from this second pack. But the pace has been up and down, but a little bit slower really than I think Gebre Selassie would have liked. He looks very comfortable there in second place. He does have a very good kick finish, although he's well out sprinted by Sigai at the World Cross Country Championships when he came third back in March. But now Gebre Selassie makes his move. At last, the little Ethiopian, only 21 years old, remember, kicks down the back straight with just over a lap and a half to go. Scar responds, stays in second place, and this is just the situation that Scar loves. Tucked in there behind somebody, just sitting on their shoulder, waiting for the finish to come into sight. But there's well over a lap to go yet. And can Gebre Selassie build on this pace as he did in Hengelo to break away from anybody with him and indeed to run a very fast time? Gebre Selassie just glancing quietly over his shoulder there to see what's going on, but they're well away. 12:13 and a half at the bell. Gebre Selassie really needs to explode down this back straight to try and drag that last 100-metre sprint out of Scar's legs. No doubt about it, it's between these two now. A gap of some 30 metres has been opened up between them and the rest in the last lap. But Scar almost chopping his stride there in behind the Ethiopian. Gebre Selassie, then the newly crowned Ethiopian world record holder at 5,000 metres, up against it here with one of the biggest kickers in the world right behind him. The first ever Ethiopian world record holder at any distance on the track, and Scar kicks into the straight. Gebre Selassie, can he respond? Scar so determined, so strong mentally, timed it perfectly there. And I don't think Gebre Selassie can do anything about it, or can he? Look at this, Scar responds when he sees the Ethiopian coming back, and he does just enough as the tape is reached. 13:10.51, a final lap there of around 57 seconds, and most of the running over the last 200 metres. Very, very close race indeed, but Gebre Selassie doesn't seem too unhappy with that defeat, despite being world record holder from some 10 days ago. Well, Khalid Scar got all the answers he needed tonight. The sprint finish is still there, and what's more, he has really got rid of his sniffed at either. 13:10.51, very fast running. They're jumping again, and I think the heights are probably secondary importance to her in the early part of the 1994 season. Khalid Scar, multi-linguist, speaks Arabic, English, French. Great picture there. Gebre Selassie didn't really move wide enough, even if he had had the acceleration to get past Scar. He was almost running into the back of him. Scar didn't move out. I thought perhaps he was at one point, but no. Scar stuck to his inside lane line. It was Gebre Selassie who just didn't really have the acceleration to get past him. Just 2 tenths of a second. Lalafi